What do we do as Amazon sellers to make yourself feel better?
Check your sales.
You check your sales. You open up your phone, you check your sales. That's exactly what I did. I was doing $80,000 in sales each month. A really good profit margin, probably 20-25%. So wanted to see how much profit I was making. But boom, there was a red line at the top that said Amazon account deactivated. So I'm laying in the hospital, Amazon account deactivated, wrestling coach died. All I want to do is make it back in time for his funeral. Thank God I did. Shout out my mom. My mom drove me down. Where's my mom at? Raise your hand. Shout out her. She flew down and we drove back up together. And I don't even think I told her that my Amazon account was shut down. She was probably like, why is he so pissed off? But all I wanted was two things. I wanted to have a profitable Amazon business again. And I really wanted to make GoToListers something special for the community. I thought, I could make a software. I knew I could make a software because I've been an Amazon seller for years and I understood exactly what they needed. I had a vision of building a listing software that was faster for Amazon sellers, truly something special for the community. And I knew I could start with booksellers because I'm a bookseller myself. So I wanted something that created faster listing, smart pricing to make more profit, and notifications when there's no FBA offers, which allows you to price your faster moving products at higher prices. And if there's no FBA competition, everybody knows you can price those items at higher prices. But I had nothing to show for it. I had a team in India, and they flew here to America over at South Beach. And he's like, I want to meet with you and tell you to your face. He's like, wanted equity and stuff. So I sat down and I met with them and I'm like, bro, you guys suck. I've been giving you all of my money trying to build this thing and it's not working out. And so we got my car, my Toyota Corolla. I start driving down the road and literally this guy looks over at me. He's like, why did you drive this piece of shit car? And I'm like, dude, I'm paying you $1,000 a week for the software. I'm giving you all my profit. And that was, you start to kind of question how good of an entrepreneur you are at that point. When you keep making bad choices and you can't build something. And real quick, the reason for the account shutdown was I was running a business called restrictinventory.com. And who here is familiar with test buys? Say aye. So in online arbitrage, wholesale test buys happen, and it's fine. Because if you have invoices or receipts, you can just upload those and you're good to go. But in the used book space, if you get a counterfeit claim and you don't have, even if you do have a Goodwill invoice, it's not gonna work out, And so to make matters worse, the brand that test buys on booksellers accounts, when they test buy books, they say, generally about 30% of, let me put it this way. A huge bookseller was like, all right, if you think we're selling fake books, let's send all of our books to you and see what happens. So they sent 1,000 books to this company, the law firm, and the law firm looked through them and said 33% are definitely fake. 33% are authentic, and 33% we don't know. And so if they don't know if it's real or not, they can claim it's counterfeit, and it's their word versus your word. And guess what? You're fucked every time. Now, these other speakers can talk more about counterfeit claims. This happens in every business model selling on Amazon. It's a tactic that these companies use. But there are a lot of counterfeit books out there, and if they buy 20 from you and one's fake, it's their word versus your word, guess what? Account gets shut down. But I was smarter than everyone else, right? And I was luckier too, right? Young kid making 6 figures profit. I knew hundreds of Amazon sellers had their account shut down. They were literally my clients. Why were they sending me their books? Because they couldn't sell them. Why couldn't they sell them? They got their account shut down and they got restricted. So I knew this was going to happen. I was building a profitable business on top of a volcano, but I decided to keep doing it anyway. And I had 2 accounts left. 2 accounts left. I'm in the hospital. 1 account got shut down, but I already had 2 left. I met somebody out here. Who was here at Turn the Page 2018? Cato Ross event. Michael? Yeah. So there at that event, I actually networked with a bunch of people, and I'm so convincing that I convinced other people to let me sell on their Amazon accounts because they had accounts that could sell textbooks. And so I had all these accounts that could sell textbooks. I'm continuing to build this business model. So I had 2 left that could sell textbooks. I kept telling the community, keep sending me your books, keep sending me your books. But I knew it was just a matter of time before those last 2 accounts would be shut down. And as an entrepreneur, you got to prove to yourself you can make money. And the only way I had ever made money was selling used books. So I flew to Colombia because I was freaking out. And this is right after my lung incident. And I proceeded to learn Spanish in 6 months, salsa dance for 2 hours a day, do jiu-jitsu for 2 hours a day, and to make money, learn online arbitrage. I had 2 friends, Flips for Miles and also Taylor. I watched these guys literally build their businesses from scratch. I knew both of them before they sold anything. And so I knew that I could do it too. or I thought I could at least. So I did 300,000 in sales in Colombia, which who here has done over 100,000 in sales OA? Raise your hand. What does it feel like when you do 100,000 in sales OA and reinvest all your money in your business? Doesn't feel like you made shit. You guys know it. Like, it sounds cool to say to your friends, but even 300,000 in sales, I probably made as much as a McDonald's worker that year. So then I fly back, and I still haven't told anything to my family at this point. My sister just got married, and I'm on the couch with my dad. And I decided it'd be wise to place myself in random countries over the next 18 months while I rebuilt my businesses from scratch. So I asked my dad, Barcelona or Mexico City? Barcelona, he answered. You never know when the world's going to get shut down again, referring to the COVID restrictions of 2020. I knew he just opted with the country that didn't have cartels. So I fly to Barcelona. I get there, no fucking around this time. No salsa dancing for 2 hours in the morning. I went straight to work. First 6 hours every day, work. I cut out caffeine. I went on a carnivore diet. And this is all because I was so fucking stressed. I literally had no money. And, you know, again, as an entrepreneur, you want to prove that you're able to produce income. And the only way I had ever made money was via selling used books. And it looked like that business that I created that was on autopilot, generating 6 figures a year, was about to be dead. I knew it was dead. My last 2 accounts were shut down. And so the thoughts, how could you be so stupid? How are you going to make any money this month? It's not going to work out. You are not enough. The ruminating thoughts that come in your head as an entrepreneur, as someone trying to make it. Who here has had ruminating thoughts at night? Who here has had sleepless nights? Say I. And that's part of entrepreneurship, guys, and it fucking sucks. And, you know, I never truly thought that losing sleep was like a real thing until my income came to a halt. Again, I was stressed because no income, Taylor bounced, and at this point, months later, still 0 users for GoToLister. 0! And I felt like a king that had been dethroned. So enter my fake guru era. Who here has ever sold a course? Raise your hand. Pretty good money, right? So I figured I made as much as a McDonald's worker that year. If I charged people $3,000 to teach them how to make $30,000, it wasn't that big of a deal, right? I mean, it was a pretty good deal, but it made me feel like a fake guru. And to feel like less of a fake guru, I partnered with Dan Thousand. Is Dan in here yet? Oh, there he is, right there. Boom. And we started running up this program together where I charged people $3,000. And I figured if I can connect you to a $10 million seller, which, by the way, $13 million now in the back. Let's give him a round of applause. $13 million. $13 million on Amazon. I'm like, 1 hour a week, a meeting, blah, blah, blah. And I sold about 5 programs. I feel like I could have sold 50, but for me, spiritually, something felt off about it. So I'm like, this is not how I want to do it. It's not how I want to spend my time. Nothing against it. Like, it's beautiful when people can teach people how to get results. Like, who here is in Flips for Miles program? Raise your hand. He's getting so many fucking people results. But that is a grind. And that man is grinding back there. And I realized I do not want to do that grind. That's not me. So luckily, started 2023, GoToListers finally product market fit for booksellers. We created it. It's faster than any other listing software that's out there. And we created smart pricing, which no other software had. So then, who here's a Gary Vee fan? Say aye.
Hi.
Content is free to make, and this is a huge lesson for all entrepreneurs. And we have a ton of people in here who create content. Who here creates content on a regular basis? Boom, yeah, we got a lot of content creators here. So this is free. And so at this point, I'm just making content my grind. And I got to my first 100 users by March of 2023. So then I'm like, all right, it's time to go to Puerto Rico with Taylor. Go to Puerto Rico, start grinding away. And we grinded together, and we built our... Amazon, he'll talk more about his experience with this later, but I was on pace to hit $40,000 profit that August. You know, I went down from account shutdown the year before. Things are looking really good. And then all of a sudden, fuck. Camilla.
Yeah, I learned the game from William Wesley. You can never check me. Back to back for the niggas.
Back-to-back account shutdowns. This is the 5th one. There's a trend here, guys. And I had $200,000 worth of inventory. I didn't know if I was going to get it back. And my funds were frozen. And at this point, I felt like a fucking complete idiot. And this happened right when we went on our Costa Rica trip. Who here was on the Costa Rica trip last year? We got Jenna, Taylor, Diana. Who else? Anyone else? All right. Tim's not here. Tim was going to be here. So my stomach just dropped. And I was just like, oh, my God. Like, really questioning my entrepreneurial capabilities at this point. And I was doing things right, but like my karma kept coming back to me because of the mistakes I made. This was all due to the multiple account policy violation, which Amazon does not fuck around with, right, Eric? They do not fuck around with this. I called Amazon lit, and Eric answered the phone. Where's Eric at? Yeah, I'm like, bro, what's up, man? I'm like, I know you've been seeing me on social media, what I've been posting on Twitter. What do you think, man? You think I get my account back? He goes, yeah, man, you're probably fucked. One of the smartest Amazon sellers I know tells me I'm fucked. Heart sank even more. Is Larry in here watching me Amazon? He's still sleeping. He had those bourbons last night. Yeah, so I messaged him too. And by the way, Amazon Lit told me don't fucking stop. He said I would spend a month or two, but not any more than that. Watch Me Amazon also gave me some advice. He said, don't stop spending. I'm like, bro, what do you mean? I don't have any Amazon accounts. He said, yeah, you got good ASINs. Find the fucking money. Keep spending. So I had an epiphany. If I don't stop, I can't lose. So I knew I was going to make it out. So I shared everything on social media. I knew I was going to make it out of the situation. And when you're at your lowest, that's the hardest time to share stuff on social media. But I opened up the recording. I posted it. Half to document it and half to maybe think that Amazon would have a good heart and see what I was doing. But that was definitely wrong. Like Amazon did not give a shit. We tagged all their executives and everything. But I knew I wanted this moment documented in history forever. Then I listened to Watch Me Amazon. I started buying inventory again about 2 months afterwards. I was like, I'm not going to fucking stop. I partnered with other Amazon sellers so I could continue selling and diversifying risk. I secured $150,000 in funding from a friend to keep buying inventory. And I listened to Alex Hormozy and Gary Vee when it came to growing GoToLister and my personal brand. I gave away all the information and sold the implementation. So this was my grind. And Alex Hormozy says, do the hard work even when it doesn't feel like it'll work out. And after 5 account shutdowns, it does not feel like it's going to work out. When you start buying those ASINs, you're like, I don't even know if this shit's ever going to sell, you know? And so this was the hard work for me. And this is the hard work we can all do as Amazon sellers and as content creators. Find profitable ASINs, whether you're a bookseller, online arbitrage seller, wholesaler. We can all find profitable ASINs. I already had the profitable ASINs. So the next thing to do is spend money on them. And if you don't have the money, secure the money. That's it. And so that's what I did. I kept buying profitable ASINs, spent money on them. And then when it came to growing GoToLister and my personal brand, shout out Steve Rake, and we talk 2 times a week, my boy Steve, about different things we can do to grow our business. I was shooting 2 to 5 podcasts a week, 7 to 14 reels, 7 tweets was my goal. I probably do like 1 tweet a month. I'm really bad about that. 7 written content posts a week, 1 YouTube live, 1 how-to book video, on and on. This was my grind. And so in 2024, my Amazon business will make me 6 figures profit. RestrictedInventory.com is still alive, actually, because an attendee that came here in 2022, I partnered with him. He had an account that can sell textbooks that never gets test buys from the brand. The brand actually went to his warehouse, checked everything out. So a connection that I made at this conference kept RestrictedInventory.com alive. And so the lesson I learned from that is share your losses because someone probably has a solution, even if you think it's impossible. And GoToLister, we got to about 500 users. Be hard to kill. This has to be one of my favorite quotes. Be hard to kill. Let's get up, y'all. Get up and jump. Let's get some energy. I've been talking way too much. Woo! When I say, what do you want? You say freedom. What do you want?
Freedom.
What do you want?
Freedom.
When I say MSC, you say MSC. MSC.
MSC.
MSC.
MSC.
All right, grab your seats. Grab your seats. All right, big lesson here, and you guys can choose to do this if you want. But tell other Amazon sellers your problems. Someone out there probably has a solution, even if you think it's impossible. All right, so here's me right here. Who here is a Lord of the Rings fan? All right, so we're all on our own journeys here, guys. And, you know, you're going to have your own circle, your own influence of people, and probably a lot of people in this room, hopefully a lot of people that you either deepen connections with this weekend or create connections with. And this is just like a 10th of my circle right here. But we got Mr. Taylor Jones here, one of my best friends. This conference would not exist without him. It was his idea at the beginning. Both of us had, you know, we were probably drunk in Overtown, Miami, just thinking about this idea. And he's helped me so much. And literally last summer, like everything he did to help me keep my Amazon business alive, like shit. You know, it's like, I owe that man so much. Amazon Lit told me the truth. Eric said, you're fucked. Stop wasting time on it. 1,000 ASINs helped me be less of a fake guru. Hopped on my coaching program. Big shout out to him. We got Alexis. We do a lot of business behind the scenes. David loaned me some money to buy inventory. And then we got Steve Rake, and we chat a couple times a week about business. So like this is just like a 10th of my circle, but you know, life and business is so much easier when you have a network you can fall back on. And this is a trend. Like this isn't just something new we're making up. Like this is why it's written in these books. This is why it's written in fairy tales, because like you need a group, you need a network behind you in order to do big things, you know? Another quote I like is, just because you're done with your past doesn't mean your past is done with you. And that remains true even as I give this talk. So everything bad that's happened to me over the last 18 months could happen to me again today. It's a fucking scary thought, isn't it? Account shutdowns, not knowing if I can come home from Barcelona or not. All these things, everything bad that happened could happen again. Everybody in here could have their Amazon account shut down today. We all know that. It's scary, so you got to think about worst case scenario. But deep down inside, you got to know that no matter what happens, you're going to keep fucking going. That's what I tell myself. And so I know even if my past isn't done with me, I know if it comes back again, I'll kick its ass. That's it.